Yeah, I mean that'll do it. I mean that didn't help the case. I'm not saying that was our only issue, but missing the sway bar end link was not going to help you at all. Alrighty, so we're waiting until last minute again. There's a SCCA event in Bell Buckle, Tennessee, and we're gonna make the trip to go try it. So we got the Lightning. Should be set and ready. We really didn't change much. I put a little bit more camber in the front end to try to give them the bite, but it's going to be cold. The track may be a little wet. It's been raining on and off this week, so we're going to get all loaded up, kind of in a hurry. We're trying to get out of here. It's about 3 hours or so away, and we got to, stop, eat supper, stuff like that. So we're kind of in a rush, so we're going to get this truck loaded up. Dad's got the trailer. He's getting the trailer loaded. And should be packed and ready to go. So we're gonna be rolling out of here shortly. Event starts tomorrow at 7 o'clock, or we gotta be there at 7 for the driver's meeting, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So Lightning should be ready to go. We've kind of got all it set and ready. We didn't change much on it, like I said. So we're hustling up, getting ready. So I'm gonna quit rambling, and we're gonna get this show on the road. We made it. It's about 42 degrees outside, so it's good and cold. So we'll get this thing fired up and get it off the trailer and go through tech.
Walking course, there are no scooters allowed on course.
All right, we've gotten through tech and driver's meeting and a walkthrough and all that good stuff, and should be good and set up. Dad's up there getting ready to start getting in the stands to check everything out, getting a little heat in the motor, and we're going to start heat 1 here shortly. So we'll see how we do. It's a pretty tight course. It's not a super technical course like Ford Fest was, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm pretty excited. Still a little outgunned on tires, but we'll let her eat. Class got about 10 people in it, so should be a lot of fun. Pretty excited. So getting ready to get a couple laps in, and we'll go from there. And also, there's everything under the sun here. There's a Tesla, there's a Porsche, Camaro, a Plymouth Roadrunner, a ton of Miatas, El Camino. I mean, just everything. And there's guys out here with serious race cars, and guys out here just to have some fun. I mean, everybody's here to have fun, but there's some legit race cars, and then there's some guys out here, and he's got wings and everything else he could stuck on it. But anyway, we're getting ready to go. All right, we're next in line, and we're gonna be filling out the course. It's gonna be driving this daisy. There's been probably a half dozen people loop out, some people going across the grass, so we're just gonna make sure we can make it around the course. I appreciate it.
Yeah, D1 for Fast and Furious too, like the red one.
That's it.
Go easy your first ride, man. Take it easy.
All right. too bad. It's slick out there. It's slicker than snot. 55.1. Pretty slow. Pretty slow. We got round 2 coming up. I didn't drop any air out of the rear, but I will next time. I'm running about 26 pounds in it, and it's just too much. So I'm gonna bring it down to about 24 and we'll see where we're at. See if I can get some more grip on the tires.
All right, good to go.
Go. We're getting a little faster. 51.69. Picking up a little bit of speed. Like I said, if I lower the tire pressure a little bit, we might be looking all right. So picked up about 4 seconds. All right, this is the 3rd run. I dropped the tire pressure down. It was like 29 because the tires got hot. So I dropped it down to about 25, 26 pounds. So we'll kind of see how it does. See if we can get a little more grip.
All right, good to go.
Not a very good run. 52. Need to check transmission fluid and some other stuff. Make sure we're dialed in. That didn't. A little slick. way to do it there. Just buy you a new car and take it out here. Hot dang. Anyway, I think this is the fourth round of the first heat. I'm gonna try to keep it a little more under control. It's slick out here. I gotta do some more. I'm still short on tires and this track is eating them up. But I got tires and shock adjustments I need to attend to. But other than that, I'm having a pretty good time. I'm actually having a blast. So.
All right, good to go.
Sight to see. We may not be the fastest thing, but we're a sight. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 clicks of compression. I think there's 11 clicks of rebound. So we bumped it up 3 clicks of compression in the front. So now we're at 14 of compression in the front. I think 14 of compression in the rear. So I think we should be pretty good. Maybe we'll get the body roll out of it, and we'll see what we're doing. Enjoy myself. The concrete's nice. Got it lifted up on the blocks because we don't have any way of picking it up. But other than that, doing pretty good. Everything else in the truck looks good. No transmission leaks. No problems there. So doing pretty good. So I think we got one more run and that may be it. We just ate lunch, kind of did a nut and bolt check, checked everything, and we'll get ready to go again. So we'll just got a lot of body roll in this truck, and it may just take sway bars, bigger sway bars for next year, and some stickier tires for sure, and we'll go from there. The tires are kind of sticky. They picked up a little bit of stick. Not enough, but some. The little rocks. Alright, we're in the second round, first lap. And we did quite a bit. We left the tires about the same. It's about 25 in the rear. But we clicked the shocks up. I think we're running 15 and 15 in the front and 14 and 14 in the rear on rebound and compression. We did a little research, talked to a lot of people, watched the videos back. A lot of body roll.
Are you good to go?
Was a bit much. I shifted in the wrong gear. I let it hang way too much out. So we'll try to keep it composed next time. So we're gonna leave everything the same. I'm starting out in second. I'm not shifting. That was dumb. I went right into overdrive and downshifted or upshifted, and then I was a mess. I just completely screwed the last run up. So it's not gonna hurt anything to just drive off in second gear. We're not beating on it that hard, so try to be a little more calm and composed, a little more structured driving than just hanging it out there. So anyway, we'll see how we do.
Are you good to go? Got a 50.98. I'm concerned we have an underlying problem. I think we've got an issue with this truck. I think it's got to do with the rear end. It is absolutely doing a one-wheel peel. So we might be putting lockers in this thing, because I think it's cooked. But anyway, we got a couple more runs. It's faster, so we're getting there. Alright, well, we've come up with our last run. We definitely have tore up the limited slip in the rear end. Is what it is, not a huge deal. It's inconvenient, but it's going to help me out a little bit. I have to drive the truck a little better. I can't drive it just all out. So, and I actually was faster because I was thinking about it more. It makes a lot more sense. So, you know, they always say, you know, you can't jump into a race car right off the bat. You know, that's why a lot of the guys in the Miatas will always be, not always, but will be a faster, better driver. That's why the guys run shifter carts and then go to NASCAR. It's more.
Good to go.
We were picking up some time. That's a shame. That's such a shame. 50.27. We were doing good. That's not a big deal though. Now we know. Now we know. Yeah, it was a good run. I like it. We're definitely gonna come back to some because this is a good time, but I hate we tore it up just for the time, not for the tearing up part. You know, it happens with racing and driving and whatever, but I just hate that we found out now and that was the issue or part of it. I don't know when it tore up. I hadn't driven it since we went to Ford Fest. So whether it tore up the first run here, it tore up at LS Fest, and I just didn't know it. You know, it happens. So anyway, we're gonna get this thing loaded back up, and we'll live to see another day. All right, so it's next day. We got the truck pulled back in the garage last night, and just got everything unloaded late last night. Tired, wanted to be done. Not upset or anything, just stuff happens. But
like I said in the last clip, I think the LSD clutches are shot in the rear end. Me and Dad got talking about it. He brought it up. He's like, I think that only one tire spinning when you're coming around the corners, and I could feel it when I'd come around, that one tire would kind of pick weight off of it, and it'd act like an open rear end. It'd just spin the tire up in the air. So we'll fire it up, bring it out here in the driveway, and we're gonna find out if it's only got, one tire spinning. So I don't know what we're gonna do to fix it. I don't know if I'm gonna go with a Detroit ratchet locker or I'm gonna go True Track. I'd rather not put the clutch type back in it because it's just a wear item, and if I can get away from having a bunch of wear items on the truck that I just don't have to mess with, would be ideal. But we're gonna see. If it's tore up, then we got to fix it anyway. Just put better parts in it. And if it's not tore up, then I don't know. I don't know what the option is if it's not tore up, because that's what we're banking on. So we'll get this thing tore apart, and we'll go from there. Or I'm not tore apart, I'm going to get it pulled outside, and then we're going to go from there. I'm not tearing it apart today. Well, dang. It was not the smoking gun that I was hoping for, because you can see the 2 black marks here, and then you can also see the 2 black marks down there. And it was pretty gripped up. I was actually kind of surprised. Well, I never aired the tires back up from yesterday, but I was really hoping that I was going to find something. And that it really wasn't what I was hoping. Technically, both tires had the same amount of pressure and traction, be like brake torquing, so you've got the same bite on both sides. So technically, it would act kind of like, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. If the clutches aren't completely gone, it might act like that. It might still pull, the same amount of power. I don't know, it's weird. If the clutches aren't completely gone and both sides have the same amount of resistance, it's going to want to spin both tires. But if one side has less resistance than the other side, it's only going to want to spin that one tire that has less resistance. In theory, the one up in the air, the one that doesn't have as much traction. The only other thing I could do is I could pull one side off in the grass, one side on the pavement, and see if it does it there. So I guess let me try that and see if we get anything. So didn't quite work, but we're getting somewhere maybe. Call this kind of inconclusive. It does look like it's spinning the side in the grass more than the dirt, but I don't know. I'm not sure. It's weird how it's doing it. I don't know if the oil and clutches got hot and decided to start slipping, or if that's just the way it's going to be. When you're putting down that much power around the corner, it's just going to spin that one tire faster, and you've got that much pressure on it. I mean, I'm kind of
trying to replicate it, but there's not a good way of replicating it on the street or on the driveway or whatever. So, because you could tell when I was backing up and I got on it and kind of put it all off in the grass, that one tire on the pavement was spinning. So was the tire on the grass, but was the tire on the grass spinning faster than the tire on the pavement? I don't know. So, I mean, I guess I'll kind of have to figure that out, do a little more research, and unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to tear in the back of that thing. But there's a lot of little stuff I want to do on that truck, so it's not the end of the world. It's getting winter time. That was the last autocross event for this TR SCCA series, so I had a good time. I think me and Dad had a pretty good time out there. It was a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people and got to talk and hang out and just, kind of check it out. So we had a good time. Truck's got a little bit of an issue. Whatever. It is what it is. So I guess I'm going to do some homework, try to figure that out, and we'll go from there. I'm still pleased with the truck. There's still a whole lot more time that can be had in the truck. There's, it can be a fast truck. Now, will it win the competition? Probably not, but will it be competitive? I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance for that truck to be competitive. So, got to do some homework, got to do some fixing on some stuff, and we'll just keep trucking along. So, appreciate everybody hanging out with me. If you got any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I see all of them. I'll answer all of them that I can to the best of my ability, and we'll keep going. So, I'll hopefully see everybody in the next video, and we'll just keep on going.
Well, yeah, I mean, that'll do it. I mean, that didn't help the case. I'm not saying that was our only issue, but missing the sway bar end link was not going to help you at all. Not going to help me at all. So now, yeah, I mean, I guess we do go back to the drawing board. Whether it's yeah. I mean, do we go with a sway bar up front, a beefier sway bar up front, and not worry about any kind of lockers or anything for the rear and see what it does? I mean, it's probably our best bet because, like I said, I don't have the hardware to put this one back together again. I don't know. I really don't. Alright, so I'm going to officially end the video off here. As you can see in the last clip, the sway bar end link broke on the front, or fell off, whatever you want to call it. We don't know. It's not there anymore. It was there on at Ford Fest, and it was, I'm like 99% sure it was there before we left for the SCCA event, and maybe that's where most of the roll is. And I know I kind of jumped around a lot. I've been talking about tires and things like that, and the reason I'm kind of hung up on the tire situation is because anytime you go ask somebody or talk to somebody, the first question is, doesn't matter what you drive, what tires you running? I'm like, well, I've got some Nitto G2, the NTO 5, no, it's the Nitto G2s, and everybody's like, well, it's a good tire, but it's not a great tire. It's not a super sticky tire. And I'm pushing this big, 4,500 pound truck around. Like, well, it'd be nice. So like I said, that's the reason why you always hear me say, well, need to upgrade tires, So that is on the list. I'm going to do, so I'm not going to do a true track in the rear end right now. I'm not saying we won't, but that's not the plan. So the plan is I'm going to do a Hellwig front sway bar, and I'm going to do new tires. So, and we're just going to see what it does. Next outing, if we still have the same kind of issues, then I'll look at a true track. The thing is now, the truck's about as much as we're going to be able to get out of it. It makes plenty of horsepower. We can make more. We obviously don't need it unless we're on the drag strip. We obviously do not need any more horsepower and torque. It makes so much horsepower and torque at very little RPM. It makes peak torque at like 3,300 RPM. That's like 650 foot-pounds at the tires. So we make plenty of torque. So suspension's basically kind of set where we're about as low as we can get without going drastic and doing like a flip kit and having to revert all the rear suspension back to stock and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. But the problem is, we're already, this is our gap. So we're already, getting pretty low on, how we're set. So, I mean, like I said, it's hard to kind of figure it out. I need more driving time, driving experience. I mean, we just need to go out and go to track days. Let's not go to events. But the only thing at the end of the year was events, so that's all we could go to. So, I mean, that's why we got 7 runs. I mean, Ford Fest was great, but, I mean, we jumped right into the fire on that one. We were just trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what we needed, you know, learning we needed to check tire pressure, learning we need to, you know, try to read the edges of the tires, you know, trying to figure all that stuff out. I mean, talking to everybody. So, like I said, that's the plan. So the plan is tires and a sway bar, and make sure the bolts don't fall out or break or whatever happened. Like I said, the whole thing's gone other than the washers. And like I said, I'm sure when it broke or fell out, it ejected the bolt out of the top when we were going around the corner. So what I'm looking at is it was leaning so far over that one tire had all the bite on it. And when I was giving it gas, it was just blowing the other tire off. I mean, the clutches aren't going to hold that. It's basically like you locked up one side and then, you know, had the other side basically in there. And a couple times that tire did come off the ground because there was no sway bar to hold it. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to clear up this video on what was going on and what was happening. We were just, the truck was acting so weird. It was not consistent with what had happened before, and that's why I was trying to figure out, you know, what's going on. Is it the tires, the transmission? You know, why is this thing acting so weird? And it seems like it was possibly the sway bar. And it was just throwing the whole truck off. That, you know, it wasn't tight anymore. The suspension was stiff, but the truck would just roll back and forth so much that it wouldn't act right. I mean, you could see in the video where the truck would just lean over. And don't get me wrong, this truck's always going to lean. It's a big top heavy truck. I mean, it's never going to act like a muscle, you know, a modern muscle car. Now, the old school muscle cars, they lean, they rock and they roll, and there's a lot you can do. So we're just going to go with a front sway bar and tires, I guess is what it boils down to. So like I said, I know I'm kind of rambling, but I wanted to clear it up because the video was a little muddy on some stuff because I was jumping back and forth because I didn't know. We had to check stuff, and we just didn't know what it was, whether it, you know, was the tires, the rear end, all the above. You know, so now it looks like the rear end's not tore up. The clutches are still good. And the only thing we can do is, you know, like I said, you know, fix the stuff that's broke. The sway bar link's gone. Looks like, yeah, I could replace the sway bar link or just get a whole bigger sway bar. And then if we break it again, then, or if it falls out, whatever happens, I'm going to put Loctite on it this time. It's not going to fall out. But, you know, if something else happens, then we're going to fix it. So I guess that's kind of where I'm at, because we're coming to the point, there's not a whole lot more we can upgrade on this truck. We can only get so much suspension part for a 25-year-old truck. There's so much you can do. I mean, these were decent, you know, decently modifiable trucks, but we're to the limits. I mean, we've got drop spindles and shackles and hangers, and, you know, there's not a whole lot more suspension stuff we can get. There's some stiffening stuff, but that's about it. So sway bars is about the last thing on the list, and we'll go from there. But anyway, I'm gonna end the video off here. I appreciate everybody watching again, and we got a lot of work to do. Got some more figuring out, but like I said, I want to clear everything up, and we'll see you in the next video.